Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new and you're coming back, thank you again for coming back to my channel. So today guys, we will be doing a full face beginner friendly makeup. First, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that notification bell so that you won't miss an upload from me. And also, leave a comment in the comment section below about how you like the video, what videos you'll like to see next, and so on and so forth. Gonna go ahead and get right into the video. First things first, we are going to, well first I have my brows done. I do have an eyebrow tutorial on my channel that you guys can go ahead and check out. But the first thing that we're gonna do, well, second thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and moisturize our face. So for moisturizer, I have the Neutrogena Hydro Boost moisturizer. So we're gonna go ahead and moisturize our face with this. This is like a jelly product. It's very, very lightweight. You can get this at the drugstore, any Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Target. You get it from any drugstore. Now that our face is moisturized, then we're gonna go ahead into primer. So for primer, I'm using the Hangover RX primer by Too Faced because we are using a Too Faced foundation, so I go ahead and use a Too Faced primer. A lot of times when a brand does have a primer, it's usually formulated to work with their foundation. So foundation is Too Faced again, Born This Way 24-hour matte foundation, and I'm in the color Butter Pecan. This is how the foundation looks. Shake that up. Wear it out a little bit on my face. I use the 2 lines on each side, a little dot here, to use the Morphe setting mist to spray on my face. Because like I said in my last video, this does help for you to blend out your makeup, but it also helps to make your makeup last longer on top of the primer. Primer also helps for the longevity of your makeup. Just using a flat top brush. This brush is by Morphe, but it doesn't have a number on it. But it's like a very dense flat top brush. I love using a brush like this to blend out my foundation. Do both. I mainly do patting motions, and then sometimes I do circular motions, because even though I'm using the brush, I'm also gonna go over it with a beauty sponge. I mainly focus a lot of the product on the bottom half of my face because that's where I want majority of my coverage, and then whatever's left on my brush, I bring it up in between my eyebrows, and then I bring it onto my forehead. So now I'm gonna take my Juno & Co. It's a microfiber bread sponge, and I'm just gonna use that, and I'm gonna use the bottom half, and I'm just gonna blend out that foundation. Now we're gonna move on to concealer. The concealer that I'm gonna use is the Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer. You can use this to conceal, contour, highlight, or retouch. I'm using this to highlight. So highlighting is when you want to add light to the face. when you add foundation to your skin, it's like very flat, like you just don't have no type of dimension. So that's where highlighting and contour comes in, because highlighting is where you want the light to hit your face, which is mainly under your eyes, right here. You put on as little or as much as you want. I like to focus mine just literally right under my eye, under both eyes. So I do the same thing to the next eye. So what you do on one half of your face, you're going to do on the other half. And I'm going to focus it on my chin, above my cupid's bow, which is right here. And then on my nose. And then that's it. I also like to let my highlights sit for a little bit because consistency a lot thicker and it just gives you like a better coverage. So what I'm gonna do, speed of that process, my handy dandy rechargeable fan that I got from Amazon, and it has 3 settings, low, medium, and high. I use the medium setting and I go ahead in with my Juno & Co sponge again. Now I'm just using the top end, but I'm going to use the top rounded end because it has a flat end. But this flat end, I'm going to use it for my setting powder. So I'm going to use the rounded end. And then I like to pinch my brush, like pinch my sponge like this. I pinch it so that I'm able to get right by my nose. And then I blend out my under eyes first. I don't blend too much because when you're using a sponge, whatever sponge you use, they do soak up a lot of the product, but you do get more of a seamless blend. So I just do a little bit of tapping under my eye. I look up so that I can get under my eye like that. Then once I'm done with that, I take my foundation brush now, and then I just go around that concealer. Now, as you can see, I don't have that harsh concealer blend. Like, it just looks blended. Like, it looks light and then it looks like my skin. So that's a little trick that I do. I'm gonna show you the difference. So this side, you can see where the concealer stops. On this side, you can't really see where the concealer stops because it just looks like it just meshes and marries into each other. That's what you want when you're doing your highlight under your eye. And I'm gonna use the same sponge to blend out my chin, and then my cupid's bow. And then we're gonna do the same thing again. Take our foundation brush and blend out those edges. Just like that. So I have, this brush is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Usually you get these double-ended brushes when you get a palette. So it has a big fluffy side and then it has a small tapered side. So I'm gonna use the small tapered side to see how it's very thick. This is to the side, so it's very thick, but it's also very flat. So I'm gonna use this to blend out my nose. Because I want to concentrate that highlight on the center of my nose. I don't want that to move too much. Tap that right down. Now, we are going to set our highlight. So whatever you do with cream, you always have to set it with powder. So right now we're going to use the Laura Mercier This is the translucent honey. You guys can see that. Yeah, right there. Translucent honey. So I'm gonna take the Morphe E48 brush. It's a nice little fluffy kind. It's not too pointed, but it's a little pointy end brush like this. If you can't get a hold of the Morphe brush, you could go ahead and use the e.l.f. blush brush. It looks like this. They're very similar. It's just that the Morphe brush is just a little, this one is the Morphe. The Morphe brush is just a little bit more like, it's smaller and a little bit fluffier. This one will still do the trick too. So take it, I'm gonna tap it in my powder and I'm gonna tap it off. So I'm gonna show you again. So when you tap it in the powder, you get all of this. You don't want to put all that on your face. So you tap, 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 tap it off. Then you have a little bit of excess, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. Press it in, get a lot on the brush, but then you just want to tap that excess off. Tap the excess off, and then I usually shake my brush on the side, and then I go ahead and I set that concealer. So I'm setting the concealer right now. We'll do a little bit of baking, but not too much. So I'll show you again. Get the brush with all the powder, and then just tap it off. Shake on the side, and then press that powder into your skin. Now, do you not see that like airbrush type of finish? Like, honey, it just looks like it was just brushed on. Like, your makeup looks so good, just like this. They call this a contour brush by e.l.f., but I don't know what you're gonna contour with this. So I use this type of brush, very small, thick, dense brush, and I'm gonna do my nose. So I'm gonna do the same thing, dip it in there, tap off the excess. We put on our base, which was the foundation. Then we highlighted the high points of our face, which was under our eyes, our nose, our chin, our cupid's bow. And then we put a little powder on our forehead. Now we are going to bronze our face. Bronzing is bringing back the color into your face, making you just look real, like chiseled, like kissed by the sun. So we're just gonna use some powder bronzer. This is by Fenty Beauty, and this is in the color Cocoa Naughty. Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty. I'm gonna show you how it looks in the pan. Get it open. It looks like this. I know mine's kind of dirty, but it looks like this. Yes. So we're gonna use this, and then I have here, this is a brush I got a long time ago, and it doesn't have a name on it, but it is a nice fluffy angled, to get like a flawless blend. I tap. So I literally tap my brush in the bronzer, whichever bronzer of your choice. I'm using the Fenty Beauty one. Their Ruby Kisses have beautiful shades for bronzers, and you can find those at the beauty supply store, honey. Like, don't go breaking the bank for some makeup. There's a drugstore makeup that do just as well, sometimes even better than high-end brands. So I go ahead and I tap my brush in the bronzer, and then I tap. So now I'm tapping. Where I bronze first is I bronze at my temples. So I'm tapping right here first, and then I tap over here. Tap my temples, and then I go ahead and I bring those two together. Now I'm gonna do my cheekbones. Again, I do the tapping motion, like a stippling motion. So then I start from, so I kind of low-key have sideburns. So I start from right here. So I start up higher because I want it to look like, you know, I got the Jada Pinkett cheekbone. But I start from right there. So then I tap, 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 tap right there, and then I work my way down. So I go up and down, back and forth, back and forth. You don't want to stay in one place too much, and then you have too much product right there. You want to make it as seamless as possible. How I bronze is like my forehead, around by my eyebrows, and then my cheeks. So then I just go to town, girl. You can see that. You see the difference? This side of my face, it doesn't have any warmth to it besides up here. But this side of my face, you see the warmth going on, like from here and here, here and here. I know it looks harsh, but it's all gonna make sense. So then I go ahead, like I said, what you do on one side, you do it on the other side. Even if you mess up on one side, but you fixed it, you gotta mess up on the other side and then fix it too. So then you do the same thing. So then I tap, trying to get to the side so you guys can see it. So you see I'm tapping. So I start here and then I tap down. Tap, 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 tap. And then I go ahead and I go up right here. So now I'm gonna use the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in Deep 56. I think it's Beyond Deep 56. And it looks like this. So this is the powder. This powder kind of reminds me of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. So I use this, and I use this big fluffy brush. This big brush. Again, this brush is by Morphe. Now this I'm gonna use all over my face, even over where I did my my bronzer. If you felt like you went a little bit too ham with the bronzer, go ahead and use your face powder. This is the powder that's literally the same as my complexion, and I'm just gonna tap it over everything. Tap it over everything. Because remember, we didn't set our foundation. So tap it where every place where you put your foundation, and then just go ahead and use this to blend everything out, have everything come together. I'm gonna take my Anastasia Beverly Hills by Jackie Aina palette, and I'm just gonna use one shade in this palette. That's how wearable I'm trying to have this look. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the color Ginger, which is right here in the palette, right here. So I'm gonna go with the color Ginger, and I'm gonna use Ginger, and I'm gonna pack Ginger all on my lid. This blending brush right here, it's a Morphe M433 brush. It's a very small blending brush, and I'm just gonna use that, do circular motions around the edges of that shadow. You can see, so that's why I only did half of my eye. So the outer half of my eye looks very blended. It just looks very like faded out, unlike the inner portion of my eye that just looks like boom, real harsh, while the outer half of my eye just looks very just a little, like it's going from dark to light. That's what you want, from very dark to light. We also do need to contour our nose, so we're gonna do that right now. So for the nose contour, I also like to take a fluffy brush. I'm gonna go with, I took a fluffy brush like this, like a blending brush. Like a blending brush like this. I use the same bronzer, and then I just go down, well, I go like this, down the sides of my nose. Just like this. Very lightly. And what I'm doing, I'm pushing the product down like this, like on the side. So I'm going like this on the side of my nose, all the way up my nose bridge, and then bring it right into the tip of my brow. So now we are going to go ahead and now we're going to set our face. We're going to use the Morphe Continuous Mist, and now we're going to set everything. So now that we're looking kind of powdery, we're, you know, just looking kind of dryish, this is going to fix all of that. So as you can see, what the setting spray did was it just melted all of that powder that we put in on our skin. It literally just sets it in place, and it just makes everything just look a little bit more seamless, just makes everything just look more, not so dry. First of all, you just don't look so dry and one-dimensional. You just look more, you just look a little, I just don't know the word for it, but you just look a little bit more like, I don't know, like, I just don't know the word, but you just look, it just looks better to me. It all in all, it looks a lot better. It seems well together. The setting spray does help at the end of your makeup. It helps it helps tremendously. This is the finished look. A full face of makeup. Yes, very detailed, very friendly for it's very beginner friendly makeup with my little boy. But yes, you guys, this makeup is a very beginner friendly. One shadow on the eyes, a nice mauve lip. So this is the finished look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for always coming back, for all of the love and support. I feel it every single day, from the likes to my comments, everything. I love you guys so much. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was very detailed on this look. Let me know if you guys like this video. I'm gonna go ahead and do another detailed video, but it will be more so focusing on eyeshadow, how to get that nice eyeshadow, the blends that you need, working with color, because girl, it's fall, and even though we could still work with color with fall have fall colors. Okay, so again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate you guys. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye.